Ahora sí, ya vamos a empezar entonces. Ya está preparando la transmisión y le confirmo.
Mhm.
Va a entrar Miss Darlene, creo. Y
Okay.
ya,
Mhm.
ok. Here we go. We're ready.
Okay. Well, hello everybody. I am Jonathan Ramos. I'm from Mexico, and welcome to Beyond the Classroom Natural English. And well, guys, today I am really glad to be here for the first time and with this new project, with this podcast. And I am going to talk about famous landmarks all over the world, and famous places also, which maybe, I don't know, maybe some of you have some experiences around visiting some of famous places, maybe in your city, maybe in your country, or maybe around the world, another country that you maybe have the opportunity, or maybe the time and the money, because it is something that you really need to actually go and visit some of uh, these famous landmarks and places. Um, and it is really important. I think that to know this part of your city, to embrace the culture, to well, to get to know the start from it, and if I talk about my experiences, or if I share with you which famous places at least I know that I have visited. One of them that I really loved, um, it was when I went to Mexico City and I had the opportunity to visit the Chapultepec Castle. And all that area, I had the chance to get to know a little bit about that, and the history behind it, which was very amazing to know, part of that culture that maybe in your day to day you don't really maybe pay attention, or care at least. So it was really interesting to see that part, and to know how the culture is um, impregnated in that place, at least, right? And that is just one, at least in Mexico, because I know that we have a lot just in Mexico, and if we go to other places around Latin America, or maybe Europe, I mean, or Asia, I mean, and the the numbers of famous landmarks, it's going to be like a really high, and maybe some of you have the chance, or have the luck maybe to actually say I already visited some of these famous landmarks, and I'm really uh, happy about that. And I don't know, and something that I would like to start, for those who maybe are listening, or for those who are going to see this in another moment, is to think about, um, if you could visit any famous landmark, or place in the world, where would you go and why? Okay, think about that, and think about how you can actually, if someone asks you, just practice and see how much you can say about that place, and how much you actually know about all the culture around that famous landmark. And I don't know, right here we have Miss Darlene, um and I would like to talk, and I would like to ask her about, if she could visit any famous landmark, um, where would you go, Miss Darlene, and why? Do you have any landmark that you said that this is my place that I would dream? And
Hi. First of all, hello everyone beyond the classroom. Hello. And, and yes, I would like to have the opportunity to visit some landmark. I would like to visit well, one of my I don't know, Japan is one of my sets to visit. I
Mhm,
always think of Japan, a place like the city of tomorrow. You don't know what to
mhm,
expect right there. Every day I see clips, reels of how amazing Japan is, so far ahead of time. And I understand. I love their culture. Not a big anime, but I follow some things, and I would like to visit there someday.
mhm. Yes, very good. And yes, Japan is also a place that I'm from the anime side, to be honest, that I would like to visit Japan, and not too much for the food because I really don't like seafood, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, Japan is like a really nice place, and I have heard a lot of great things from Japan and for the culture, and actually recently I actually searched for some information about that because I know some friends, let's say that like that, that they went there the last year. So um they told me like a really great things about that, and the only like heavy part I think is just the traveling part because it's a long flight.
Mm,
Um yeah, I if I talk about me that which place I would like to actually visit, it won't sound very cliche, but I would actually like to visit the Eiffel Tower just to have the photo and just like that. Um, I have my best friend actually went there a couple times, and
really?
yeah, she said that it's not the big deal. I mean, I think
Mhm.
that it's because she already had that experience, and that's why she said that. I heard a lot of like maybe unpleasant things about friends like right now, but I think I don't know. I just to have to be there and see the spectacular about that. I mean, I think it would be worth it, and also because it's in Europe, um, and it's
It,
like yeah,
isn't it the place where you can find the famous museum, the Louvre?
yeah, actually, and that's another like a famous place there, and because I said because it's in Europe, I mean, you can travel like if you want to go to Germany or if you want to go to Italy or if you want to go to Spain. I mean, there's not really like a real uh, how can I
It's all
say?
connected,
Yeah,
huh?
it is all
Okay.
connected, right? So it's really easy to move around those countries, not like here that you actually have to apply for a visa and you have to wait that. Of, I hope that I get it, but yeah. And at least those are the ones that maybe I would like to visit. But Miss Arlene, have you? Which one are the ones that you already visited?
Um,
Do you have
Around the
some?
world? Mm, um,
Well, maybe in Mexico. I don't know if you.
I could say in the US, California,
Okay.
Las Vegas. I've been there. In the country of Mexico, I've been. Well, it's like Tabasco, like Tuxtla, like Villahermosa, and
Okay.
Cancun,
Of
Playa del
course.
Carmen, of
Okay.
course. When I was younger, like living in Merida, well, you have to, there are many archaeological sites,
Yes.
but the one that is, many people, for many our viewers, or in this case, listeners, Chichen Itza, because now it's a famous landmark. It's one of
Mhm.
the new world wonders right now.
Yeah. Mhm.
And if you have the opportunity to visit there, like I think you should really go. And many people, from around the world come to visit, Chichen Itza because of the solar eclipse. But again, I think it's very amazing. It's kind of sad that now, you know, that, back in the day, you had the opportunity to climb up the
Yeah,
the pyramid. I don't know how to refer it to pyramid or castle, but back in the day, you had the opportunity. Now it's
prohibit, right?
it's forbidden, yes.
Mhm,
And many tourists, they don't they don't like the ban is not a is doesn't is not a barrier to them, and they manage to go up. And of course, it's a bad thing. Like you can't go up like we used to, because now it's like it's a very delicate site, and they want to have the best, want to conserve that area, for many years to come. And because of that, we have the opportunity to be like really close to it. And just because other tourists come and wanted to go up there and take their pictures up way high, they have you know uh set back further, so you can't see now, you can't see it up close, like if like we have
mhm.
kind of set away a few meters back. But if you ever have the opportunity, go for it.
Right.
Visit Chichen.
Mhm. Yes, and yes, I saw that about that foreign people just like they don't care about the rules um that we put on the scenic side, and they say, I'm just going to have the experience, and they climb it, even though it is prohibited. And I saw many locals to get angry about that, because I mean it's supposed that the government put those signs about you is not allowed to climb it, because yeah, as you mentioned, Miss Lynn, that they try to preserve the Chichen Itza as much as they can.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really important also to take care of this famous landmark, because uh, I don't know if there's at least one famous landmark that is not like at least 50 years old or even more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. They have to the idea of preserving these landmarks is that it's for years to come. I mean, take Chichen for example. Now we have another example is the Tower of Pisa in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa is, it's been years, so many years, and the people of Italy tried to conserve it. There was a one point they closed the tower because it was leaning so far that it could cause a collapse of the tower, and we lose that monument. But many engineers have managed to fix that, to create, I don't want to call it create, they like find a maintenance, try to fix it up,
Mm-hmm.
and to have another, to preserve it as long as possible.
Yes, and it is not only for the place or for the actually for the structure, but also if you have like many famous places in your country that also influence a lot in tourism, and also benefits the locals, benefits the income that can have can that the country can have, right? So uh, you, Miss Arlene, that you are actually living in Merida, and do you think that having the Chichen Itza there, uh, it's like a great point for tourism?
Of course, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so because, like I said, it's not only all the people in Mexico. We're getting people around the world who have the opportunity, and there's more. Every like right now, it's like you can say this as a normal day, but when the solar eclipse is approaching, you get a lot of visitors, especially during you know, the spring breaks, the summer vacation, and etc. But you get a lot of people. But most importantly, during the solar eclipse, many people love to enjoy that once in a lifetime moment.
Yeah, and I think even more now that in this year is the World Cup, so maybe you are going to have
Indeed.
more than usual.
Indeed, indeed. I forgot about the World Cup. Now it's in three places right now in Canada,
Yeah,
in the
US and
US, and
Mexico.
Mexico City. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going to start first.
Yeah, the first match is in Mexico City. Mm, yeah. So, and it is like for all the listeners that they want to really have like a real experience to talk with a native person or someone who their first language is English. I think visiting these places, it's a real great opportunity to maybe if they are afraid to talk to a stranger because can be normal, at least to listen and see if they can catch some sort of thing that they say. Because I remember the time when I went to the Chapultepec Castle and then I heard some French people over there.
Ooh la
I
la.
heard, yeah, I heard some English and I heard some I don't know. I heard some language that I didn't recognize at that time, but it was interesting to at least listen to them, to at least to try to see if I can catch as some word because it was when I was 18 years old, so it's been a while more than I want to accept it, but it was like a really nice thing to hear people that that they don't speak Spanish or at least that is not their first language, and if I had the opportunity to be there again and I don't know, just to say, to offer some kind of help or just making an excuse to like
I
to have
think
a
I think if you do that, you're coming out of your shell. You are learning to jump to doing things out of the box. And if you don't take that risk, like where's the practice? Where's the effort? And I think we should do that as people who speak English as a second language. We should have these kind of opportunities to put ourselves in the test. Like let's see how can I confront this without without a learning base from my learning basis. Let's see what I'm up to and go for it. I think people should do that as well. I mean, if you took the opportunity to do that, like, good for you.
yes, of course, and that's something that I think really pushes you to actually put yourself in a test, right? To see how much you can actually speak, how much you can communicate, how much you can actually express your ideas. Obviously, as the first time, maybe you are going to be like a little nervous or maybe a lot. Maybe you are going to forget some basic words that afterwards you will say, "Oh my God, I know how to say this, so why I get blank." But I think those opportunities uh, give you the basis of okay, I'm going through a process and little by little I'm going to improve. Little by little, I'm going to actually express better and
And you feel good. And you feel good after that.
yeah, of course. And you are going to feel like I'm really having a good progression with my English, and you will get to a point that it's going to be like a natural casual thing, like if you were speaking in Spanish. Mhm. Have you ever had that, miss, like to talk with a foreign person?
A foreign person, well, my relatives. My cousins speak English as a first language. and Spanish is their second language. And it's kind of funny when I say it because I even have trouble speaking Spanish as well. And when I see them, when they're talking in Spanish, and it takes me back, like I was like that. But and what I like about that is they're trying, not to break, try to be fluent in their way. Of course, every now and then there's some Spanglish that happens, and they try to continue. And today I'm so amazed how much of our, generations have changed. Like I've seen, if you look at commercials, you look at around you, how young people, very young people they're adopting the vocabulary in English at making it their Spanish. I don't know if you have seen that, or well, when you talk to people, well, especially to young people, Mr. Jonathan.
Yeah, I have actually seen that, and it's really interesting how that works. But and if I can say like a one advice to the people um that they want to practice with a foreign person, a person who has English as a first language, is that don't be afraid to make mistakes, and
Mhm.
and don't and don't feel like I'm going to mispronounce this word, or I am going to like
And make
embarrass.
a making a
Yeah.
fool.
Hmm. Right, because I th- I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that most of the time people won't care, and they will see that you are trying, and they will be patient, because it is funny how when a person who doesn't speak Spanish try to speak Spanish, for us it's just like "Oh, very good, you're really making an effort, and you pay more attention, and you are kind, and you show that support." So I think it's the same way in the other way around, like
I do believe that. And let me ask you this. Have you ever had experience with some users that they try to say something in English, they make up a word and they pass it as English?
yes, I have
What
most
what
a
what
lot
kind of
of them.
words have you heard?
Well, actually, yesterday I was giving an additional about occupations, and there was the picture that I showed was blacksmith.
Mhm.
So one of them say aeration or something like that, and I was like, okay, funny, all right, but no, okay, so it is a blacksmith. So that is the one that pops out of my head right now. But yeah, I have listened a lot of time this, and why it's fine. I can understand why they do that. Obviously, we we give the correct word, but um I think it's a process, right? It's a process. Everything is a process. So, and as I said, little by little, they get to know the word, and expand the vocabulary, and what in some point on their life,
I
Mhm.
I loved when they create their words. I love it and I applaud them because that shows them the effort, the time, they're like, yes, this is English. They create their own English, and I really applaud that. I really do. I even have my list of, words of my users creating their new words. Like, I don't know if there's this one word that always pops in every time, every day. And it's like, well, if I say the word, let's see if what can you make out of it? What is narawis?
Well, I always listen made up words with eon. You know,
Mhm.
that's
A
like a specific.
clue. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
But what is if I say Narawis, what do you get out of it?
Not always.
Mm-mm.
Um, mm,
Narawis. No.
mm-mm.
Orange juice.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the thing when they don't train the listening part, so they just uh
But it's cute.
this
I
part.
like
Yeah.
it's cute. Like they're trying. Like it's yeah, like as effort. I give it full credit. But then you correct them and but I was close. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Like orange juice, but not a wheeze. They got the juice right, but they couldn't get the
Yeah,
orange.
part of
But
that, but yeah, I mean, I think that's when they have these new words, and it's really important to like give them the correct way. So that's how they actually get another words that they mispronounce, and they get like, okay, so if I mispronounce this one, maybe this one is also mispronounced, and they look for it and they improve, or at least that's actually a process that I had, that I I realized that I was mispronouncing some words, and I realized that, okay, I'm going to actually look for it,
mhm.
and then I actually understand when I listen to them, to those words.
Always try to understand context. Context remember because many people have understand the true meaning of the word. And when it's put on that word in a sentence, it changes the meaning. So sometimes I always tell them that you have to understand the context of the word in that sentence. It will change meanings.
Yeah, it is really important that. But anyway, I think we cover a good time here, and for everybody who is there or have listened to this, thank you guys. Thank you uh, for being with us. Remember to register if you already finished the program. There's a follow-up for B that is waiting for you. Also, there's a new feature on Natural English page, which is when you have the chance to practice with AI with an extra cost, yes. But if you really keep to improve your English skills, that's a good way to do it. And well, that will be all for us, all for me, for Miss Darlene. I hope you really love it, and I hope to see you next episode. Goodbye, guys.